Well, good evening everybody. Welcome back to CRL for the 7th championship race. We are here in Portimoa, a brand new track which has been added into the game. It's very interesting to see how the drivers get along here. But yeah, we're here for round 7. And last race we had was 2 weeks ago, as we had a 2-week break in between, and that was at the Japanese Grand Prix. So I'll reiterate what happens once I get the link in the chat, because I am streaming on my own account, as we had more technical difficulties in the channel itself on Cone. So sadly for me, we got to stream on this channel again, which I'd rather not, because it makes things more difficult, but it's how things go sometimes. So let me just get the link in the chat. It is 1 minute past 8, I mean 32 minutes, so we should be going very soon. Is Farrell, are you here with me? If you are? He's not here with me yet. He'll be here soon enough during the race, because I think he's got other things going on as well. So I think we're about ready to go, getting the stream in the chat, and we should be off. They all wait for me, thankfully. They all don't go by themselves, they all wait for me, so it's very nice. 33 lap race around Portimao. The track times are a bit like Spain, but the difference between this track and Spain is plenty more opportunities to overtake, especially down into turn 1. And you can continue your fight down into turn 4 and back up to turn 6, well, down that hairpin. So there's different segments of the track you can overtake around here. Tyre wear is not going to be much of an issue, I would have thought, because I tried this track, I think it was a few weeks ago, and it was an easy one-stopper. So I think the strategy is soft and medium, but I think with the new handling model, I'm not quite sure. I managed to one-stop soft and medium very easily, but we'll see what happens then, as yeah, we get all the drivers in, and we should be going off soon. 19 drivers in the session. We had 20. I'm not sure where the other driver's gone. Hopefully he joins back before the 15-second mark. Yeah, I wonder where the other driver is then. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hope you're all excited. And away we go then, into the stream. Q1, so you all know what happens in Q1. Top 15 drivers go through, the bottom 5 get knocked out. And there's been a mixture of drivers. It's not really the same drivers who get knocked out, and it is Pease who left the session and he's joining back. This grid is very, very close, and you expect lots of things here. This grid is very close. You don't exactly know who is going to be knocked out of Q1 or Q2. It's a mixture, and the times are so close within each other. If you gain about 1 or 2 takes, you can find yourself moving up like 8 positions. I've seen that in the past before. That's how close this grid is. So it's not always the same suspects that go out in Q1 like it is in the actual F1. You can get a mixture. Sometimes it can be surprising with the drivers who do go out of Q1, because they're usually in the top 10. So it's not always the same people, and it is raining for Portimao, so this is going to bring in a few surprises. I actually can't wait now to see what is going to happen during the race now, because Q1 is usually a preparation qualifying in Q1 in my opinion, because the drivers who make it easy into Q3, this is just practice for them for Q1 in preparation to go into Q3, just testing the limits of the track in the qualifying circuit. Obviously they would have done some practice beforehand, but obviously they have more time to practice when they have Q1. Usually the way I approach Q1, usually I make it into Q3 most of the time, but it's just that I just put in as many laps as I can on the same set of soft tyres, because you don't want to use too many of your allocations. You only get about 3 or 4 sets of softs, if I think that's correct, so you don't want to go on them too many times. You don't want to change over on a brand new set at all. They're on the full wet conditions, the full wet water tyres, so not the intermediates. So the drivers then, I wonder how much wet practice they've done, because honestly I will not be expecting this to be a wet qualifying session, or wet race in fact. So the first man out there, I think, is Danny Boy, who is in the Ferrari. His teammate Mr. BT is here tonight. And Danny Boy then, you know what he's like, he likes doing so many laps on the same set of softs, then pops on a brand new set of the soft compound tyres, but obviously it's raining. I think you get 3 wet tyres if I'm correct, an extra set if it is going to be raining in the race. You don't get, or is it 2 or 3? I think it is 3. Or did he get, is it intermediate? How many inters did he get? About 5, 3 wet tyres. So yeah, if it is raining throughout the whole of the qualifying session, I think they'll only have one set of wet tyres in the race then. Let's go on board with Danny Boy then. So many elevation changes this track. The dynamic of this track is very, very exciting around here. Somebody's just overtaken Danny Boy. I don't know who it was. It wasn't Nathan. He's still in the garage. We'll go on board with Rudy. I think he was the man that overtaken Danny Boy. I think it is. There he is then. Rudy on his outlap. Rudy, let's talk about Rudy because he's just invalidated. Hopefully that don't lead into the next lap, because you can invalidate this in the next lap, like in Spain or other tracks. But here we go then, coming around the last corner. He takes it flat out though. Oh, he goes wide and he almost loses the car and goes straight in the pit lane. So Rudy then on the back foot already. We'll go back on board with Danny Boy then. So here we are then, crossing the line on the main straight. This is the opportunity for overtaking. Not necessarily here, but if you can get a really good exit out of here into turn 1, which will lead into turn 2, you can continue your fight all the way down into turn 3. You can see there, short shifting, experimenting with the throttle. This is a difficult corner, this uphill section here, because it's very easy to lose the car on traction, and the back end will just step out of you if you don't get it right. Down into turn 5 then. This is the hairpin where, this is another key part of the track where you can overtake. This is called Tory Vet, and now we're coming into turn 6 then. Carry as much speed as you can do here, but obviously in the wet it's going to be quite difficult. This is the main part of the track where I'm expecting people to get it wrong, because you can either lose the rear end of the car, you can go off the track. So it's going to be very interesting how those drivers take it in the race. I'm not quite sure if it is a wet race or a dry race. This is another part of the circuit I like. Downhill corners. It's a roller coaster track really. The way this track is built is absolutely amazing, with so many elevation changes, and this is a roller coaster ride, especially in sector 2. As we make our way down into turn 14. Back on the power, let's see what Danny Boy can do there. Will it be flat out to the last corner? No, he lifts off. Because Rudy did it flat out in the last corner, but obviously look what happened to him. Danny Boy will be the first man to cross the line, and it's going to be a 30.4. And the LP driver is next to cross the line. Welcome back, by the way, Ferg, who is in the session. It's not Ferg, it's somebody else starting their flying lap. Head Bompiers now go quickest with a 29.7 on the board. And we've got a few more across the line then. It is one of the McLaren drivers, which is that Duel. Walter's got off the track, but Duel sets the best time of a 29, which gets taken away by Walter. Now Walter went wide through one of the corners there, and surprisingly that was not invalidated. I think it was Walter, because I went on board with a black Mercedes, but it didn't get invalidated, so he must have got away with it. But somebody might have spun on the main straight, because the car is stationary. There is Danny Boy. That's a different part of the track. It's somebody else that spun. Is it ISO Night? He's invalidated it. I'm not sure if he had a mistake through there, but Mark's gone quickest with a 28.9 by a second, if I'm correct, almost a second. It's about 7/10 quicker than Walter's time, or 8/10 quicker in fact. So good job from Mark in P1 there. Clearly confident in the rain. I wonder how much work practice he's been doing. Mr. BT is in 6th place with a 31.9. Who else is next across the line? There's Total P's coming to the second sector now. Coming through the Samsung corner, making its way out of there over the hill. Blind corner obviously. Now this one, here we go into the Portimoa corner. You want to kiss the apex here and go out wide. As you want to do that in dry really, but these drivers then want to see how they're taking it. Turn 13 here. This is going to be another problem with traction here. Now turn 14 to the penultimate corner. Important to get a really good exit around here, because it will set you up for the straight. The Gulf corner now coming downhill. You'll take it flat out in the dry, but obviously in the wet can't really do that, otherwise you'll lit up the rear tyres. But Pease comes across the line now, and that wasn't Pease, it was somebody else. Who was that I was just on board with? I'm not quite sure. Did he validate? It didn't look like he validated, but yeah, that was Pease. So there's been a glitch in the session then. Seville Gamer has spun the car. Yeah, it is Total P's ahead of us, so he must be elsewhere on the track then if he's showing up at sector 1. Walter's on another lap. Mr. BT's just improved to go in second place with a 29.2, so the more laps they do, the more confidence they get in. And talk about track improvement, it is Duel by a tenth so far. There he is then, coming out of the Samsung, going into Craig Jones' corner. Coming into turn 10 now at Portimao. Misses the apex slightly, gets back on the throttle. There's a car, is that his teammate? That's Danny Boy again in the Ferrari, having troubles this time at a different part of the track. Duel then taking it really cautiously on this lap, as you expect him to be, because he's a really consistent driver, knows how to drive these conditions. Coming through the final corner then, you want to take it as tight line as possible, but he's not taking too much of a tight line through here. Round the final corner we go, onto the straight. What's this time going to be? It's the second place, half a second quicker than his previous best, as Walter's got on the top of the timing sheets here with a 28.2, a massive margin, so he's clearly found some pace and his confidence to go at the top of the pecking order. Het Bompje in P5, somebody else has just moved up. It's Total P's down in P2. Yeah, he's definitely in a different part of the track then, because he's just crossed the line to go P2 and now he's at the line, so he's having instant issues. Rudy, who's just came out of the track again to do another lap time, has just invalidated it. Where's his teammate Nathan JB down in P16? There he is then, coming out of the hairpin at turn 5, Tory Vips. We're coming through turn 6 here, and there's double right-hander. You don't want to clip the apex through here in the dry, especially because you'll definitely lose the rear end. Blind crest through here, up the hill, down the hill now. This is a extraordinary track. Love the elevation changes around here. Coming through turn 12. Now to the end of the middle sector, it's a I don't think that was the end of the middle sector then for Nathan Booth. I thought that was the end of it. And you can see then, as he applied the throttle, he instantly spun the car, so he's struggling quite a lot in the rain. He hasn't set a lap time, along with Louis Ladd, Rudy, Ferg. Where is Ferg? He is out there on the track so far, coming through turn 8. Coming through Craig Jones through turn 9 now, that left-hander, now coming through the right-hander of Portimao. I've got a map up here, so I know what the corners are called. Coming through turn 13 here, the hairpin. Now through turn 14 we go. Rouse the penultimate corner then. On the power immediately to get a really good run on the straight, coming through Gulf. Oh, he's lost the car, but he's managed to save it. And he's going to go into the pit lane, so he's done what Rudy did and just lost the rear of the car. It looked like he was able to do it, but sadly for him, he had to go in the pit lane there. The Louis Ladd has invalidated his lap time, so we'll have to go for it again. So at the top of the pecking order, it is Walter with a 28.2 as he loses the car slightly, but managed to recover it really nicely. You can see him drifting and sliding through the corners there. Got to be really careful. And Rudy's gone up into second place, and he minimises the gap that Wouter has created. It's 2 tenths now between Rudy and Walter, his nearest rival. Total P's down in P3, but that's not where he's somewhere else on the track. To Griff in P4, good job from him. Marks in P5. Duel is in P6 in the McLaren. Mr. BT in P7 ahead of Passé in P8. There he is, the Williams driver. Knowsley, who was our reserve driver for last week, who finished in P4, is currently in P10, the Red Bull driver. ISO Knight is out there coming through the final corner then. Is he going to improve on a 29.7? Total P's heads back in the pit lane. He doesn't improve, he stays P11, but he's going to go for another lap. AJ's down there in P13, who's in the pit lane. He went half a second quicker in the middle sector, but he couldn't hook it up in that last sector and has invalidated him. Danny Boy goes for a third spin. He's really not liking these conditions, is he? He's on the same set of wet tyres he was on when he set his best lap time. Giroux, Visser and Ferg and Seville Gamer have gone on the intermediate conditions, so the track is getting better and is improving, so these drivers feel the confidence to go on these intermediates there. So we'll go on board with Giroux, Visser, see if it is better. It doesn't look as treacherous like it was a few minutes ago. brake before the 50-metre ball, take a lot of curve into turn 1, run it through turn 2 as well. Turn 3, bring it down to the gear, second gear corner here, taking a lot of curve through there. Uphill, take the tyre slide through it. It's very easy to lose the rear end, especially in the wets as well. A bit of oversteer coming out of that corner. Down, yeah, 13 seconds quicker, but obviously he hasn't set a representative lap time, so we still don't know. But it looks like he's not struggling as much as he was previously. Make our way through turn 6, now through to turn 7. One of the most difficult parts of the track. It's very easy to lose the back end of the car there. Turn 9 through the Jones corner, now coming through turn 10 and 11 through Portimao. And now coming through turn 12, this left-hander just lift off slightly. At turn 13, very difficult to get back on traction. A lot of short shifting will be going on through here to get traction in the car. Coming through turn 14 now. Just slowly getting on the throttle, you don't want to light up the rear tyres at all. It looks like a tiny lap from Giroud Vizza, so let's see where it puts him on the timesheets. Is this going to be quicker than Walter? Walter's on an outlap on the intermediate tyres, as Giroud Vizza has gone quickest with a 26.7 on the intermediate tyres, the green wall tyres. Walter's out there on the intermediate, so I think everybody now is going to go on the intermediate tyres. They're still out there on the wet tyres, but they're not back in the pit lane yet, as Nosely's retired in P15, so he must have crashed somewhere. Yeah, he's definitely crashed somewhere, because P14's time is slower than P15, so he's crashed on the track somewhere, and the best place for him to start is P15. Obviously there's about 5 drivers who have not set a lap time yet. Nathan's out there on the intermediate tyres, Ferg's out there on the inters, 58.7 through the middle sector now, coming through the penultimate corner. Short shifting quid out of the corners as we make our way down the Gulf corner. Just be flat out in the dry, and let's see where it puts him. Might be quicker than Giroud's time, and it almost is. It's a 26.8 on the intermediate, so Ferg is up into P2. We can't call him the defending champion because it's unlikely that somebody's just spun. Somebody's just gone for a massive spin down at the last corner. That was AJ. That's surprising there. What's happened to him? Has he lost his front wing? I can't see from that angle, but I was looking at the map and I just saw a car just going off the circuit completely, and yeah, AJ's in the pits and he's lost his front wing. Giroud has gone quicker with a 25.7, Mark's in P2 with a 26.2. Now AJ is under massive pressure because there's only about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the session, so if he does come out, we'll only have one lap, and one lap to be absolutely perfect, no mistakes, and that's to be quite difficult because AJ has been struggling in this qualifying session. Here's on board with CRL Gamer. He's quite handy in the wet conditions. Sadly for Bob, yeah, he's having internet connection issues. Where is he? He's down in P9. He's still in the pit lane, so he set his best lap time on the wet tyres. Now, if people improve on the intermediates and he can't get back in the session, he could be knocked out of Q1. Here comes CRL Gamer. Where can he put his Aston Martin? In P3. What a lap time from him. Indeed, his teammate Esteban is in P6, as Esteban's gone 8 tenths quicker in the middle sector. So Esteban's on improvement as Ferg has moved himself up into P4. Where's Dual? Dual 6 tenths quicker in the first sector. Where's Mr. BT coming through the double right-hander? Turn 7 and turn 8 through Samson corner we go. One of the most difficult parts of the track, going uphill. Danny Boy is on the cusp of elimination. He's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Now AJ, this will be his one and only lap time as when he crosses the line, so he's got to make it count. If he doesn't, he'll be starting down in, well, if depends if other people improve, because it looks like they're struggling too. Here's Louis Lad then coming through the final corner. Where's the real DC? DC crosses the line now, and he is P7 then, so big improvement from him, and gets himself out of the danger zone. Knowsley's down there in the danger zone. Mr. BT's down there, and he's 1.7 seconds quicker in that middle sector, and he makes his way across the line now to go into P3, so it looks like he is safe at the moment. Who else we got out there? We've got the Mercedes about to cross the line. That's probably AJ. Yes, it is. No, it's his teammate. Let's see what Walter does then. Can he improve on a 25.8? He's 1/10 up, 2/10 up actually, if you round it up, and he goes into P2 with a 25.8. C4 Gamer has gone quickest with a 25.3. What a lap time from him. He found half a second in that final sector, so good job from him in the Aston Martin. Rudy's out there on the track, 1/10 quicker in the middle sector then, so he's on an improvement coming through turn 10 and turn 11 at Portimao. Now coming through turn 12. Seems like Rudy's got more confidence ever since he made a mistake on his first flying lap. It wasn't even a flying lap, he made a mistake on his out lap, which caused him to go in the pit lane. Coming through turn 14 now. And this last corner is called Gulf through turn 15. As Seb Bompey has left the session again, so he's definitely having internet connection issues. 25.1 for Mark, he's the quickest so far. Where's Rudy going to put his Haas? In P7. So what about the drivers down at the drop zone? Where's AJ? AJ is 1.1 seconds quicker in the first sector. What about his brother Nathan? I didn't see his first sector, but where's Louis Ladd? Louis Ladd has popped himself into 12th place. Improvement, but is it enough to get himself into Q2? The real DC is on another lap time. And Passe has invalidated it. There's 20 seconds left to go. I don't think he'll cross the line in time. Or will he? No, he won't. Definitely won't cross the line in time to start another flying lap. Total P's is down in the drop zone. And he's still on the wet tyres. So Total P's then has opted to stay on the wet tyres. As he crosses the line now. And yeah, 28.8. So he's in the drop zone, and that's it. Total P's has crossed the line with a few seconds to go, and Head Bompia has been knocked out of Q1. Danny Boy has been knocked out of Q1 because somebody's just moved up a place. I think that who was it? Louis Ladd? No, Louis Ladd was already up there. I can't figure out who it was. But Danny Boy crossed the line now in P14. Rudy's retired. In fact, an AlphaTauri is stationary down there. What's going on? Louis Ladd's there. Have Louis Ladd and Rudy come together? They're on the same part of the track, and Rudy was on a flying lap, so I wonder if Rudy has retired from the session or crashed. Strange one, but he's into Q2, but he won't make it into Q2 because his car's damaged. So, Danny Boy, Passe, Total P's, Head Bompia and Knowsley have been knocked out of Q1. Total P's has made a massive mistake by staying on the wet tyres. And Head Bompia too, but Head Bompia has been lagging in and out of the session. Mr. BT has popped himself into P2. And a 10th off Walter. So there's your tyres. Then AJ and Nathan made it through into P9 in P10. So they're safely through. We're just waiting for Total P's now as Walter goes quickest with a 24.4. The tyres keep tumbling down as the track gets better. Total P's then will cross the line now to stay down in P18. I think the session is definitely glitched because Total P's does have the common sense to go on the intermediate tyres. The session is glitched. I'm not sure where Total P's is at the moment. Louis Ladd, please retire so we can progress into Q2. But yeah, that is it then. Walter leads the session with a 24.4. Second place goes to Mr. BT. Mark in P3 with a 25.1. C-Roll Gamer in P4. Tegriff P5. Ferg and Jeroen P6 and P7. Dual in P8. AJ P9. Nathan P10. Seban P11. ISO Knight P12. Louis Ladd P13. The Real DC P14. Rudy made it into Q2 but will not take part in Q2 due to crashing out for whatever reason in P15. Danny Boy P16. Passe P17. Total P's 18th. Head Bompia 19th and Knowsley 80k P20 after crashing out in qualified. So there's your classifications. We're just waiting to go into Q2. The session is glitched, so I'm not sure what's happening here. It's Total P's car, isn't it? Because apparently he's not crossed the checkered flag yet, even though he has a few times. So it's definitely Total P's who's caused the internet connection issues. Head Bompia keeps leaving as well, so I'm not sure if it's on his end, but hopefully this internet issue will sort itself out because there's definitely been a glitch. And off we go into Q2. Oh no, it's oh no. Yep, I thought for 1 second it would stay on 1 second as Total Peace has left the session. So to reiterate what happened in Japan, Walter won the race ahead of Total Peas. Total Peas was hunting down Walter for the race win, but ran out of laps to do so. He was very, very close to him in the end, but it was Walter who came out on top. Duval finished in P3, his first podium of the season. He went on a very long stint on the medium compound tyres and made it work. Knowsley in P4 after started down in 18th, I believe, and finishing in P4. Jeroen Visser, who was in the fight for second and third, dropped down into P5. Icefell Knight in P6 had Bompier finished in P7. Rudy finished in P8. Sevo Gamer, who spun out the race lead, finished in P9. Nathan P10, and Tim Skepop, who is not here for this race, finished in P11. DC P12, AJ P13, but did set the fastest lap of the race. But Mr. BT P14, and Tegriff, who scored that 1 point. So if you finish in the top 15, you get points, and P16 downwards don't. That's how it works in CRL. You get 40 points if you win, 33 points if you finish second, 28 if you finish third, 23 if you finish fourth, 20 if you finish fifth, 17 if you finish sixth, 14 if you finish seventh, 12 if you finished eighth, 10 if you finished ninth, and 8 if you finished 10th. Into Q2 then, so it's still wet. If it is going to be a dry session in the race, that means they can start what tyres they want to. And that could be a one-stop strategy going from there on in. I think it could be mediums to softs or mediums to hards. So we got some cars then coming out of the pit lane. It's still very wet in this session indeed. Will it dry up towards Q3? Who knows? But who should have gone both first? It's a Mercedes leading this train, so I think that could be Walter. Walter looking very confident, as he always is, in the wet conditions. It looks like Walter's the man to beat then in this championship, because he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. In the first 3-4 races he finished P2, but ever since that he's been winning races and just been so consistent overall. Top tier driver is Walter. He barely makes any mistakes at all. When he's in a fight, he doesn't bottle under pressure. He always delivers when he has to, and that's what makes Walter a really high class driver indeed. So then on board with Walter coming through the final corner then. You can see he's not taking flat out just yet, as he's gone wide, and that's an invalidation, so he will not be able to continue his lap, because it's a this and next invalidation lap. So that's a big mistake to make already before he started flying lap. Icefell Knight then I think is the next driver to start lap time, but he's just gone out wide and he's invalidated, and almost he spun, and thankfully he does not hit the wall, so he escapes damage free. But you can see the rear end of the car just snatching away from him, and into the gravel he went. He could definitely recover from that one as he gets out of the driver's way. So what he'll be doing then is just getting the gravel off his tyres, just cooling the tyres down and go for another lap again. And yeah, we'll go on board with an Aston Martin, because it looks like they're leading this pack now. As he misses the corner completely, you don't want to hit the apex through there, but you want to get as close to it as you possibly can. You can see wheel spin coming out of that corner there. As we'll make our way now into Portimoa through turn 10 and turn 11. It takes a very wide entry, but it doesn't benefit really from it. 58.6 is the middle sector for Esteban. His teammates behind him, so those two start a lap very close together. Might cost him, because what if Esteban makes a mistake and Sevo Gamer is right behind him? You can see him sliding through the corners there, but Sevo Gamer will get a really good toe off his teammate. As they both make their way out the final corner then, Esteban sets a time of 26.6 and Sevo Gamer is quickest with a 25.1. 1.5 seconds quicker. Could have gone quicker if his teammate wasn't in the way, but Jeroen Visser places himself in second with a 25.2 then. So that lap time from Sevo Gamer is still good enough to secure his pole at the moment, but it's taken away from Ferg, who's just put himself in first place, top of the pecking order. AJ P4 with a 25.8. Mr. BT's just got P4 now with a 25.4. Next one is the AlphaTauri. Is that Louis Lad? And it is Louis Lad then, coming to the final corner then, onto the straight. Let's see where he can place his AlphaTauri. It's going to be a 26.2, and he goes into P6. Walter's gone for another lap time, as you expect, as he validated his first one. As he went wide through the last corner and picked up this and next invalidation lap. You can see him then being really careful and cautious on the throttle, because obviously you don't want to pin it. Half throttle through that corner, gets back on the throttle now, coming down the final corner through Gulf. It takes you through 6th gear now, upshift to 7th. And yeah, let's see what lap time this is going to be. Wow, what a lap time. It's a 24.8. Obviously, that mistake has not phased him whatsoever. He still goes quickest with a 24.8. By 3/10 he's got of a margin. So, yeah, obviously he's just not phased at all by that mistake. Still continuing as he always is. Esteban then, on improvement lap time, 9/10 quicker. AJ's just invalidated it. Real DC's a few hundreds off his best lap time. Louis Lad then 2/10 quicker in the middle sector, crucially for him. Trying to get better than the 26.2, because that lap time, and look at that, 4,000 slower is Mr. BT. He's in P2 just behind Walter, so looks like Mr. BT is also showing some decent pace in that Ferrari. And here comes Louis Lad, crosses the line, and he's lost a lot of time in that last sector, and he stays in P10 then, so on the verge of being knocked out. Only 14 drivers in this second part of quali, because one of them crashed out. They made it to Q2, but they're not progressing to Q2, so basically 15th Dowell's got knocked out of Q1. Here's Nathan on his out lap. De Griff down in P14, AJ's in P8, going for another lap time. We're still aboard with the Red Bull driver. Let's see what he could do then. Making his way now into Portimao, turn 10 and turn 11. Takes it really nicely there. Very smooth, no mistakes whatsoever from him. You can see he's just lifting out. You just can see he's just lifted off the throttle there. Nice car control from De Griff there. Really smooth on the power is De Griff. Let's see what that lap time is then. And this lap time is going to be a 25.3, and it goes into P7. A really cautious lap, but I dare say he needs to be a bit faster than that if he wants to ensure his safety into Q3 in the top 10. Esteban, he's just invalidated his lap time. AJ's back in the pit lane. DC's got 1/10 quicker in the first sector. Where's Nathan? He's going to be on a lap time in the Haas. He's coming through Portimao through turn 10 and turn 11. Hooks up the apex nice there, gets a really good exit indeed from Nathan, so 57.9 in that middle sector as well. So it looks like Nathan's showing some confidence. Sure, shifting quite a lot is Nathan there. Back on the power we go from Nathan there. Let's see what this lap time should be, hopefully an improvement for him. And this lap time is going to be a 25.9, so that lap time was really consistent and smooth, but not fast enough. It's just been pushed out of the top 10 by the real DC, who's got up into P8, so good job from DC, as Walter has just gone quicker with a 24.6, so sets the benchmark for those drivers there. Where's Jimmy Vizza? 2.4, so he's not on a lap time, is he? Esteban is not on a lap time either. Where's Ferg? He's in the garage. Mark's out there. He's gone 1/10 quicker in the first sector there. Continue his way down into turn 12. Through turn 13 we go. This left-hander here. It can be difficult traction sometimes. And that's not an ideal place to park, but it hasn't affected Mark at all, I don't think. Through turn 14 we go. You can see the back end stepping out as he applies the throttle. Coming into turn 15 in Golf. And he goes into the pit. No, he does. Oh! I wonder if he thought he had took the right line, because that was a scary moment for Mark there. He could have lost a wheel. I'm surprised he didn't invalidate. I mean, not invalidate, sorry. I'm surprised he didn't crash. I'm surprised he didn't lose a wheel, because the amount of speed and the impact of the barrier, he would have definitely, in real life, that would have definitely been a retirement. He got away with it. I'm not sure if he thought it was the right way to go to the pit lane there. So Griff then on another lap time, so his best is a 25.2. Let's see what he can do then, making his way through the final quarter. 5 minutes left to go in this session. We've still got duel to set a lap time just yet. To Griff now, will it be an improvement? Yes it will. P2, what a lap time from him in the Red Bull. Aston Martin behind us of Esteban. Crossed the line to start a flying lap time then, coming into turn 1, takes you to 4th gear. Coming into turn 3, he's lost the car. And he's done 5 laps on those tyres, so I think it's time for him to come in the pit lane and put on a brand new set of intermediates, because I think the tyres have passed their limit now. Yeah, he's taking the absolute best out of those tyres, so I think for him, for his sake, he needs to come in the pit lane. His duel is in P10, but it's not good enough. He needs to improve on the lap time to ensure he's in Q3. Coming out the hairpin, then out of turn 5, now coming through turn 6 and turn 7, the double right hander, one of the corners I love the most. Carry a lot of speed in turn 6. We want to keep off the apex in turn 7 because it's very easy to lose the back end of the car, and it has started raining. So could this be dry tyres towards the end of qualifying, I wonder? Coming into Portimoa, turn 10 and turn 11. What we'll do. It's an odd situation because he's got 4 minutes left of the session. What if he goes to the dry tyres and it's not dry enough? So I don't know what to do. Maybe he's just... Oh, he's lost the rear end of the car there. It'll cost him a bit of lap time. We'll duel. Yeah, so will it be dry enough? It doesn't look dry, does it, at all? But will it be dry enough at the end of qualifying? A massive understeer moment, and into the pit lane he goes then. And Jeroen Visser is on his outlap. Is it the dry tyres? I think it is. Yeah, it is the intermediate tyres, so he hasn't gone into the pit lane. I wonder, within 2 minutes left to go, will we see a stampede coming out of the pit lane with people on the dry tyres? A Haas has just spun off there, down at turn 1. That was Nathan, get out of the way, he wasn't on a lap time. He's just came out of the pit lane, Nathan. Yeah, on a brand new set of intermediates, I think. Yeah, he's on a brand new set of tyres. Esteban, yes, he's in the pit lane at the moment, but he's on the soft compound tyres. It's going to be nip and tuck, isn't it? We're right at the end of the session here. Will it get dry enough to be... to improve? 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go. He's gone on to the intermediates now. He switched over back on the intermediates. I think they're looking at the delta between the softs and inters. The question is, what tyres do they want to start on during the race? Because if you just go on the soft tyres, that's what the tyres have to start on, whereas others might go on the medium compound tyres because they stayed on the intermediates. Who knows? But Jeroen Visser makes his way down into turn 1. I don't think it's dry enough. So Griff's got on the soft compound tyres, back on the intermediates now. Jeroen Visser has invalidated it, so he's got one more lap to try and make an improvement, but the track is ramping up so quickly. Mark is on the intermediate, so I think it's inters. Yeah, it's definitely intermediate tyres now. The guys down there in P13 and P14, they have nothing to lose, but they're on the track anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's inters towards the end. It might be inters towards the start of qualifying 3, but in the middle of it, it might get drier, so we might see the soft compound tyres being used for once in the qualified session. So we'll find out who's on a lap time. I think Jeroen Visser is on a lap time now. No, he's just evaluated, like I said. So drivers on a brand new set of inters are Griff, Esteban, Mark, Duel, AJ, Nathan and Luelad. ISO Knight is on the 2-lap-old intermediate tyres. Esteban is in the pit lane on the soft compound tyres, but I think it's too late for him. Yeah, it's definitely too late for him to come out now, so we won't see a soft one coming out of there. The gamble won't work, sadly for them. So what Esteban could do now is just pray that nobody improves on a lap time, but McLaren across the line there to start his last flying lap. Here comes the Williams across the line. to start his second lap. And Mercedes has just spun to the final corner. And who is it? Is it AJ? Is that AJ? Yes, it is AJ. He's been knocked out of Q3. Yeah, that's it for him. AJ has been knocked out of Q2, and his teammate and his brother is out there, but he's got one more lap to try and make an improvement to get into Q3. Where's Louis lad down there? He's in P14. He's invalidated it. Has he got enough time to cross the line? Yes, he has, but only have that one lap. Now, nope, he won't make it across the line. Esteban is too late for him anyway. Let's look. Is it time for dries yet? You can see he'll be sliding around, but it might have time for dries, but it came out at the wrong time. DRS is enabled, so it's definitely time for dries, but as you could see, not enough time left in the session to go for another run on the dry tyres. Maybe he could have crossed the line at the very last moment, but it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. So Giroud Vettel then coming round turn 14. That's Esteban right behind him on the soft compound tyres. Now making his way through Golf Corner, flat out right-hander. It will be in the driver anyway, as he won't improve on a lap time. P5 for him. Esteban has made a mistake. And Ferg's backed out of it, so he'll be back in the pit lane. What about Mark? Through the final corner we go. And this time he makes his way safely through the pit lane. I can't see any improvement. I think the track is too dry for it to be on the interiors. Yeah, it's too dry to be on the intermediates. So Louis going quicker in the middle sector, but will it be enough to get himself into Q3? So it could have been that the drivers left it too late to go on the intermediates. I think the track is too dry for the inters, and therefore they're not really improving. It's definitely bone dry now. And will Louis lad make it into Q3, I wonder? He's going to be at 25.7. Will he do it? No, he won't. So ISO Knight has made it into Q3. Good job from him. DC's made it into Q3. So the driver's been knocked out is Dual, AJ, Nathan, and Louis lad. That's Q2 done then. As we make our way to Q3, who will take pole position for Portimao? But at the moment, Walter, Griff and Mr. BT are your top 3 for this Q2 session. Look at that, 7 different constructors in the top 7, wow. No, 8 actually. Yeah, 8 different constructors in the top 8. When have you seen that before? Q3 then. The first two qualifying sessions were wet, now it's dry. Let's see then what dry lap times these people could do. I expect a 16 or a high 15 for qualifying. Is that too much? I'm not sure. Maybe it's a low 16 or a high 16 I think I'm expecting. But yeah, there's only one driver in the pit lane now, which is the real DC. Gonna be very interesting to see who could take pole position. Our champion from last season is back, and let's see what pace he's got to perform, because I have no idea what his pace is like. Hope he's still got that fighting spirit left in him. I wish he was here in the first few races, because it could have been a really good fight between Ferg, Jeroen, Walter, whoever else was fighting up there. It could have been a really good fight. Could have mixed up the championship a little bit, back and forth between Ferg, Jeroen, Walter, Mark, etc. It's just a shame for Nathan and AJ, because they've been off the pace this season, like comparison to last season. Been knocked out of Q2 a few times, and Q1 in fact. But never mind that. Let's go on board with a flying lap in the dry this time. Brake before the 50-meter board. Use a lot of... Oh, he missed the apex of the first corner, but settles it on the exit. Coming through turn 3 then. Use second gear down here, you want to kiss the apex, which he doesn't do, he slightly misses it. Uphill corner, take the tightest slide through there. Make sure you don't invalidate as we come on to the next stretch. As we make our way into turn 5. Making up the 100-meter board. Go through a wider exit. Get back in the power as soon as the car straight up. For this one here, carry a lot of speed through here. For turn... I forgot what this corner's called, but you don't want to hit the apex there, because it'll settle your car and cause you to spin. Flat out left-hander here, now coming through turn 10 and 11 through Portimoa, take a wide entry. Flat out left-hander through here. I'm not sure where the reference points for that is if you're using no line through this corner, through turn 13. Now through turn 14 we go. And now just wait for that long stretch. Coming through this last corner, coming through Gold corner now, taking the tightest line possible. ERS has run out on that Aston Martin. You lose ERS very early, well, very late in the lap, and it's a 16.4 for pole position then. As Esteban yet again is close to his teammate. Mark's gone P2, 16.8, half a second off Steve Royal Gamer. And Jeroen's gone P2 now. Mr. BT sets a 16.4 in the Ferrari. Walter, 16.2. The times are ramping up, so it is a low 16. Could we get into the high 15s? Here comes Ferg then, through the Golf corner. Let's see what he could do in the Alpine. Is this going to be a good lap time? Where could he go? Is this going to be? It's a 16.5, and he goes P5. We're just waiting for DC now, the only driver not set a lap time, but he was the late one out. And he makes his way through turn 14 then. Where can DC... put his McLaren. Out-qualifies his teammate Duel. We'll start at P11 anyway. And DC then makes his way across the line. Where can he go? It's a 17.2. And he's been put with P8. Esteban P9 and Knight P10. And so there's your first lap times. Biggest surprise for me is Mr. BT down in P2. Jeroen Vizor then down in P5 on a 16.6. But Mr. BT then looking very good down there in P2. As we make our mad dash back to the pit lane, stick on a brand new set of tyres, and off we go again. These drivers will have like 3 sets of brand new softs, so they can use them if they want to. If they mess up on one of their laps, come back in the pit lane again and put on a brand new set. They can afford to do that because they'll be using intermediate tyres in Q1 and Q2, so got plenty of softs available to them. And double stacking is the Aston Martin. They were so close together. I don't get why they get so close. I think Esteban needs to let Steve Royal Gamer through, or Steve Royal Gamer needs to slow down a bit, because he's been catching up to his teammate on his recent laps. So he's going to be really careful, because the turbulent air will affect him. And he will miss corners and lose a lot of time, because he hasn't taken it perfectly, just focus on the car ahead rather than himself. But he needs to find a gap between him and his teammate. Plenty of space out there on track. So I'm not quite sure why they're bunched up together. Maybe it was the slipstream, but it's not too effective around here. So Walter, our provisional pole sitter, 16.2, 2/10 quicker than Mr. BT. In good form is Walter. C4 Gamer down there in P3, looking really strong. And this time, he comes out before his teammate, so we won't get stuck behind him. The Aston Martin out there in P6. Mark is out. First driver out of the track with 5 minutes and 55 seconds left to go. They're out there rather early, I dare say, for those drivers, but that could be to get all 3 runs in, but I don't think you can unless you validate on this middle lap here. You can go back in the pit lane and put on a brand new set of tyres. Maybe it's that, I'm not quite sure. Usually people go out with 3 minutes left to go or something like that. So Walter, BT, C4 Gamer, Mark, to Griff, Esteban and Knight are out there on their out laps. I love this track, the way this track is built. So many elevation changes around here. Can be difficult, this track, but plenty of time to be found around here. 16.2 is a really good lap time. It's a short track like Spain, as we make our way through the final corner then. But the only problem, the difference between Spain and here is that Portimoa's tyre wear is much better in comparison to around Spain. And we make our way now into turn 1 then, but just before the 50-metre board, use a lot of curve on the entry. Doesn't use the curve for the exit, so it doesn't use all the track that's available to him. Coming uphill then to turn 4, take the tightest slide through there, carry the speed. DRS is open for this stretch here. Coming down into Toy corner, turn 5. Straight to the car, gets back on the throttle, really nice and tidy from Mark there. Coming into the double right-hander, carry a lot of speed through here. You want to avoid the apex through here, which he doesn't do. Might have lost a bit of time through there. Flat out left-hander through here, takes a lot of curve on the entry. Coming through turn 11. Looks like an Aston Martin has spun. That could be C4 Gamer because he was ahead of his teammate. It is C4 Gamer. He's lost it through before. He's lost it at the first right-hander actually, so be the second right-hander people usually struggle. Must have carried a lot of speed through there. We'll go back on board with Mark then, see what he's doing. Half a second up in the middle sector, so that half a second is really crucial because that could put him into second place unless he can find more time in that last sector. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 16.2, so close to Walter's time. He's about 700ths off of Walter, so that's a good lap time from Mark. We won't have enough time to go back in the pit lane and go for another lap. But what about C4 Gamer? I think he does have enough time to go back in the pit lane and put on a brand new set of softs and go for it again. Griff's out there. Let's see what Griff can do. Will this be... It's a 16.5 and he puts himself into 5th place on the 3rd row. DC 1/10 improvement through the middle sector. And Esteban goes into P9 with a 17.0. Where's ISO Night? He's out there somewhere. ISO Night goes up into P9. Big improvement from him. Must have made a mistake on that last flying lap he did. Jeroen Visser is on an out lap. So is Walter, so they left it within the 3-minute margin they had. C4 Gamer is back in the pit lane and I presume he's going to put on a brand new set of the soft compound tyres because he's got loads of soft tyres available to him as they did not run him through Q1 and Q2. Who will take pole position? It looks like it's most likely to be Walter. But will anybody else put in a really good lap time and take away pole position from Walter? Yeah, Jeroen's going to come back in the... Well, he's moving out of the way. He's going back in the pit. What's going on with Jeroen then? Is he going for 2 out laps? It seems so. That's quite strange actually, going for 2 out laps around here. I've not really seen people do that around here, but looks like he's going to go for 2 out laps then. Unsure why, maybe getting more temperature in the tyres or something like that. I'm not sure why he would do that because you want to do 1 lap on these tyres, get the absolute best performance out of them. We go back on board with Walter then as he makes his way towards the end of the first sector. He backs out too. I wonder if he's made a mistake or something. He's 2.5 seconds down anyway in the first sector, so are they both going for double out laps? It's quite interesting, the tactics they're doing around here. Is that warming up the tyres more or something like that? It's a short track, maybe they want to cool down laps. Anyways, we'll find out soon. And Ferg's going for a lap then. You see the back end just sliding, coming up the hill as we make our way down into turn 5. He's lost a bit of time in that first sector. Has Ferg locks up as well. This is his second flying lap because he's used a lot of ERS already. So he's going for another flying lap. Is Ferg? He must have made a mistake on his first one. Coming through the double right-hander now. I want to avoid the apex on this second right-hander. Use a lot of cover the exit. Coming downhill then. Coming through turn 10 and turn 11 through Portimoa. Kiss the apex through there. Nice and smooth through for Ferg. He's a few hundreds down in that middle sector as we make our way down into turn 14. Got the power a bit too early there from Ferg, but let's see what he can do then as he makes his way through the final corner. He's already run out of ERS, so he could lose a bit of time down the straight because you usually run out before after it. 9 thousandths down on his previous best, so he hasn't improved. But where's Dream Visor? 2 tenths quicker in the first sector. Where's Walter? There he is then, coming through the second right-hander. Gets back in the throttle now. Where's Mr. BT? In fact, Mr. BT will go on board with him first as he makes his way down the final corner. You can see they've run out of EOS on that last corner. Mr. BT crosses the line, and it's a 16.2. He's so close. He's on the front row. That's a crucial thing for Mr. BT. Walter's gone 2 tenths quicker in that middle sector, so he's finding some decent time in that Mercedes. Here comes C-Raw Gamer. He's invalidated it, so he won't go quicker. But here comes Walter then, coming through the final corner. Can he improve? Can he get the 15s? It's a 15.9! The first man to get in the 15s, so I was right overall. Where's Jeroen? He's P4. But Walter, what a lap time from him. Finding so much time on his second flying lap, or his second lap should I say, on those soft compound tyres. It's a 15.9, unbelievable from Walter there. It's better than my time trial. Unbelievable from Walter. Just finding the pace when he needs to, just pulling out the bag at the most crucial moment in qualifying. Just delivers when he has to, really. Walter 3 tenths ahead of Mr. BT. Mr. BT there, what a stunning performance he's put in qualifying to put that Ferrari in P2. Mark as well in the Alpha Tauri, he's done a good job to put him in P3. Jeroen Visser in P4. C-Raw Gamer in P5. To Griff in the Red Bull P6. Ferg on his debut back is P7. Esteban in P8. Iso Knight in P9. Good qualifying performance from him. And the VODC is in P10. Can't wait to see what the race brings for us then. We'll be seeing many battles through here, especially through turn 1 to turn 6. Looks misty out there and cloudy. Hopefully it's going to be a dry race. And my man Foul Fury is here.
What's up, Jamie? How are you getting on?
I'm good, thank you, mate. And how are you?
All good, all good. Looking forward to this race now, seeing what happens.
Yeah, me too. Do you think we're going to have many battles around here? Because the way that track's built, you can have so many battles, like through turn 1 to turn 4, then down to turn 5.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Like, the great thing about this track is that it's so easy to go too wide through so many of the different corners and all that, so we should get some great battles throughout the entire race. Like, it should be really, really close. The gaps are all so small between all of the drivers as well, so very, very hard to build a gap. So, yeah, we should be in for a great race.
Hopefully, mate, hopefully. Mr. BT is in second place, so he's done a fantastic job to put that Ferrari there, but disappointed qualifying for Jeroen Visser, but let's see what he could do in the race. P3 for Mark, looks like he's getting back on the pace because he's been struggling in the recent races, as he made quite a few mistakes, but let's see what he could do then.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Mark is up there. He's a bit of a Portimoa specialist, so he is. I know as part of Team Relentless, he won a team event there a few weeks ago, so this is definitely one of his favourite tracks.
So in Q2 it was raining and we had the intermediate tyres. So have you practiced around this track much, Val? Do you know the strategy? Will it be mediums to hards or mediums to soft? Because when I tried it, I did an easy one stop on soft to medium, but I'm not quite sure with this new performance patch if it's going to be exactly like that. But is tyre wear not really an issue around here, is it?
No, it's not. The softs seem to go on forever, and then the mediums, they just don't seem to drop off. So soft medium is easy. This game's only been out since the performance patch, so it shouldn't have changed anyway since you did your race around it. But yeah, like soft medium is very easy around here. One thing that we have to be aware of is that the undercut's quite powerful. So it'll be interesting to see if a few drivers try and stop in a few laps early, maybe even around lap 9, and then see if they can get an undercut and try and get out ahead of a few cars ahead of them. Total Pete's down in 18th. What happened to him?
I'm not quite sure, mate, because he was lagging all over. It wasn't lagging, he was just in a different place than he was supposed to, if that makes sense. Like, you remember my Cone Cut race in Bahrain where he was somewhere he was not? It's that situation again, but I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Hopefully his connection issues are sorted out. He should be where he is, because he crossed the line. He was in sector 3 and he improved on a better time, but he didn't cross the line to do it. He was just in a different place. So to where he is and where I've seen him, he's in different places. But hopefully that sorted itself out now, because we've had a few connection issues before in qualifying, but nobody's really left and joined, so hopefully that sorted itself out.
No, I know with Pease now, he's moved to Wales, and Wales is famously in the 18th century. So I'd say their internet is quite poor. And I'd say maybe he's used up his daily allowance of internet in Wales or something like that. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't affect him during the race now, because Pease has had sick pace all week. So he has, like he was, like I was there for a practice lobby earlier on today, and he was on for pole. Like that was how much pace he had. He was faster than Vouter. So yeah, very disappointing to see him down in 18th.
Because everybody else switched over to on the intermediate tyres, whereas he didn't. He stayed on the wets. I don't know if that was him doing it or was AI doing it. I'm not sure if he left and rejoined quite a few times, but he definitely had the common sense to go on the intermediates. But maybe it's just the connection issues that caused him to be down there in P18. Nosey crashed, and Rudy crashed in Q1 and Q2. Rudy crashed in Q2, and Nosey crashed out of Q1, so that's why they're down in P15 and P20. He's the only one on the hard compound tyres, so expect him to go for a very, very long stint, because those hard tyres could possibly go to the end if they wanted to. But obviously, you have to choose a different tyre compound, 2 different tyre compounds in the race. Here are the lights then, as we get ready for round 7. So away we go. Looks like Mark's got a really good start initially, because he's got past Mr. BT. Yes, he has got past Mr. BT. Had a fantastic start, did Mark. And now Girovis is behind him. Into turn 1 we go. And Girovis has also got past Mr. BT. So Mr. BT's had a shocker start there. Pushed down into P4 already. C4 Gamers and Tigriff are going side by side now. Climb up the hill towards turn 4. And there is Ferg then trying to get the back of C4 Gamer. C4 Gamer is on the medium compound tyres. We've got a spinner, and that's a Haas in the background. That's Nathan in the background. I've just seen who spoke about turn 4 uphill. As you can see, C4 Gamer's then under pressure from Ferg. Ferg trying to get past the Aston Martin, who's on the medium compound tyres. AJ has got ahead of DC on the medium on the soft compound tyres as well. So here comes C4 Gamer. They're trying to pass ISO 9. They didn't have the best line coming into turn 6 and 7 there, but ISO 9 then stays in P8. So yep, it is Router who leads this race ahead of Mark. As you said, Mark had relentless pace in Portimoa in the practice sessions. Hopefully he can show it, because the top 3, Mark, Jerome and Walter, all fighting for the championship there, as Mr. BT then down in P4. Let's see if he can make up a few positions in the race, because Mark had a fantastic start initially and got past him. In this addition of Walter, that's what caused him to be in P1 then. So we move on to lap 2 out there 3.
He's in a McLaren sandwich. He's trying to go past Duell and DC. He's already up to P12, so pretty decent start for Pease. He's trying to get past DC to go to P11.
Duel is tucked in right behind the solution. A side-by-side coming into turn 1 now. Total P's at the inside line and is ahead of DC. DC's lost out to his teammate. They go side-by-side now. On board with Total P's. Duel trying to go down the inside of his teammate. DC has the inside line for the next corner. Will do a switchback. No, he won't. He stays behind his teammate. Of course, beyond those medium compound tyres, his teammate having more grip comparison to him. Rudy goes down the inside of the real DC. Late move from Rudy. Can he get it done? He has the better tyre on him. And gets a better exit than DC and moves himself up into P13. Duel has lost. Oh, Duel snatched.
Oh,
and Duel's lost another place to Passe in P14. Duel's having horrible grip on those medium compound tyres. Started in P11, now he's down into P15, so he's lost 4 places within 2 laps. Has Duel. Hopefully those medium tyres can warm up and yeah, get back to where he should be. Lad's right behind him too. So we move on to lap 2 where DRS is now enabled. Crucially for Walter, he's 1.1 seconds ahead of Mark, whose Jeroen is tucked in nicely behind Walter, behind Mark, sorry, in P2. Walter sets the fastest lap of the race of a 18.8, good pace, not 18.8, but it's just a short track around here. DRS will be enabled then. Let's see how...
P's and AJ going side by side.
8 places already on in 3 laps. Total P's has made up. He goes wide. They both go wide, but Total P's makes the pace up into P10. He's right behind Steban. Steban is on the medium compound tyres, and you expect him to be slower than Total P's at this point. And yeah, Jeroen Visser is tucked in nicely behind Mark. Highest medium runner is C4 Gamer down in P6. He's done a good job so far. Didn't lose too many positions. I think he lost 1 place. That was to Griff. But yeah, Steve's done a really good job now. He's got Ferg and Knight right behind him on those soft compound tyres. His teammate can be a blocker towards P's and AJ down there in P10 and P11. Knows to made up 3 places.
Ferg on his return now is getting all over the back of Sieb. And you'd fancy him to get past now once DRS is open. And with him being on the softs and Sieb being on the mediums. It's a bit hard for a break on the grid. Defended champion and all that. Went away and he was, I don't know, talking to trees and stuff for the last few months, but now he's back.
Total P's then is right behind Steban. You expect him to get past because Steban's vulnerable. He has no protection, and Jeroen Visser has got past Mark, and that was a move on the straight. It wasn't before turn 1. I mean at turn 1, it was a move on the straight as Total P's has got past Steban for P9 then. So crucially, let's see if Jeroen's got the pace to close in on Walter. Now he's got a clear air between himself and Mark behind him. Yes, Steban's vulnerable. He's under pressure. AJ is right behind him, but obviously they'll both have DRS being in the second between himself and Total Peace. Well, AJ try and go down the inside. Here comes Rudy down the inside of DC. Will he make it stick? Go side by side, come out the corner. Looks like Rudy's got a better exit, and yes, he has. He's moved himself up into P12 from start to P15. So Rudy's making places along with Total Peace as well. So yep, they're both making a lot of ground up here. AJ is right behind Steban. Steban looks like he's struggling on those medium compound tyres in this race. And look at Rudy. He's going to go down the inside into Portimoa. Turn 10 and turn 11. He's trying to. You don't want to get the curb though because it will make you lose the rear end. But yeah, he stays behind AJ at the time being.
Yeah, the gaps are so small here that AJ was on the attack trying to get past Steban, and then now all of a sudden he's having to defend from Rudy. Not easy around here, so it is.
Coming down the drop into Gulf Corner then, Jeroen Visser has set the fastest lap of the race. He's gained 2/10 ever since he's passed Mark. 1.3 seconds is the gap now between Jeroen and Walter. Mark sticking in there between Jeroen's DRS trying to catch up as AJ's run out of straight to try and overtake Steban for P10. Steban hasn't got DRS ahead by Total P, so AJ's had a scruffy exit coming out of turn 3 and turn 4, so he made it more difficult for himself. He's got the overspeed, he's got DRS. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. Into turn 5 we go, and looks like a Williams.
Passe making his debut here in CRL, and he seems to have lost it on the uphill left. Very, very tricky corner, in fairness. I'd say he won't be the last that we see spinning around there.
Yeah, I expect people to make mistakes at turn 4, turn 7 and 8 as well, because that's a difficult part of the track. Very easy to lose the car traction through there. Rudy though taking a tight line through there to get a better exit to Steban. But Rudy on a mission trying to get past Steban as quickly as he can. before AJ pulls away. Obviously Sebastian's got protection, he's got DRS to defend himself against Rudy. As we come on to this long straight now, the gap's gone up between Giroud and Walter, 1.3, 1.9, 2 seconds now, so it looks like Giroud's lost a lot of time to Walter, and Total Peas has got past ISO 9, here comes Rudy then, getting past the Aston Martin of Stepan.
Got past Seb.
Stepan's just made contact, and he half spins the car, gets a 3-second time penalty as well for good measure, but he made contact behind Rudy. Now he's fighting against the McLaren of Duel. Looks like those medium runners are struggling because they've been pushed down into P30, P40, P50, but C4 Gamer looks like he's not struggling in comparison to the most. As you said, Ferg got past him. The gap's 2.2 seconds now as Mark's closed in on Giroud, so looks like Giroud's definitely lost a lot of pace there and time. And now he's got to watch out for Mark behind him, and Mr. BT, who looks like he's closed in now, trying to make amends from the start of the race. As Mr. BT dropping down 2 positions, didn't get the best of starts off the line. Also to Griff losing 1 place there, as he's behind Mr. BT now. So a big DRS train behind Jeroen Visser. Highest speedy runner is C4 Gamer in P7. He has got Total P's for company now. Total P's started P18 up into P8 at the start of the race. It's within 6 laps. That's a big improvement from him. Big gains is Total P's is making, and now he is behind C4 Gamer, but C4 Gamer has got DRS behind Ferg as well, as we head on to lap 7 out of 33 in this race.
I think Rudy's going to have AJ now into turn 1 here.
There we go. Main moves be made, and he's up into P10 ahead of AJ Wuhan, who did struggle in qualifying. Made up a few places due to those being on the mediums around him.
The only plus point for AJ, I don't know if he's listening to us or anything like that, but Rudy's D-rating already, which on this track is very bad news for him because it's impossible to get it back.
C4 Gamer has re-overtaken Ferg then, so I didn't see that battle unfold into turn 5. As here comes Ferg back down the inside, very dangerous play corner to go if you try to overtake there, because it's very easy to lose the back end of the car. But I wonder what happened there, because C4 Gamer looks like he wasn't in a place to overtake him, but looks like Ferg made a mistake.
Hits the back of Ferg.
2 Alpines.
Two Alpines coming together, not for the first time this season, but this time it's Ferg in the Alpine, unlike Nemo last week in Japan.
Now, Ferg looks like he's standing coming out of turn 14, and that'll allow Pease to be all over the back of him. And Pease has got good ERS management here, because I thought he would have used a lot of ERS trying to get past those cars, but he's got a lot of the tag like I thought he wouldn't have. But there he is then. I don't think Ferg's put up too much of a fight against his teammate, and he moves up into P7 now. Good move from Total P's there. P18 to P7 within 8 laps. Unbelievable from Total P's there.
Yeah, and I'd say he's going to be up to P6 by the end of the next lap anyway. Only 0.4 behind Seb, and he's on those mediums, which are just struggling to get any sort of traction out of these corners. We're on to lap 8 now, so I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be anyone who's maybe getting stuck behind someone and they might try and undercut. I'm looking at Mark like 0.3 behind your own. You might think of pulling the plug on an undercut and then trying to see if he can get that bit closer to Wouter then as well.
Good battle. Rudy's just gone off the track because he was fighting AJ. They were side by side coming out of turn 5, but here we go again then as we make our way to turn 9. Oh, he's so close behind him, and get down the inside they go again between Rudy and AJ, side by side between both. This could get very hairy indeed as AJ goes back down the inside now into turn 13 we go. Now coming through turn 14, Rudy will have the DRS unlike AJ.
It's such good battle between the two of them. Really, really good racing. As I said, like at the start of Portimoa, you can go side by side for so many different corners, as these two proved there excellently.
There goes Total P's on C4 Gamer. He's up into P7 now, ahead of the Aston Martin. He can set about chasing to Griff, who's on the back of the DRS train. You can see him in sight already. And oh, AJ's lost the car and he's spun. I'm not sure if they both made contact, because when I went on board, I was on board with Rudy's rear wing and that didn't help me whatsoever. But AJ's lost the car, he's spun, he's down in P17 behind his brother. So both of them not having good races indeed. They've both been off the pace so far.
Yeah, very unfortunate for AJ. As I was saying, the two of them were having such a good battle there, and I hope there was no contact, because that would have ruined what was like an excellent battle for the last few laps there.
Lawrence Stroll and Max Verstappen made contact. Lando Norris actually made contact there before. Was it in the race or was it practice session? Because I believe Lawrence Stroll and Max Verstappen came together in practice. Then in the race it was Lando Norris and Lance Stroll in the same corner again.
Yeah, Lance Stroll, not a fan of the corner. But total P's, can he set about now getting into the top 5, which is absolutely outrageous considering we're on lap 9 and he started at the back.
It's unbelievable. He's got such good pace around here as Total P's. This is the Total P's I want to see at the start of the season, because we know he made a lot of mistakes in that first race in Britain. We just couldn't get anything together whatsoever. But this time he's showing some really good pace, like he was in Japan. But he didn't have enough time, or laps, let's say, to get past Walter, who was on ever old medium compound tyres against P's tyres. Looks like the track started to brighten up now, so it looks like those medium runners, can they get the grip of the tyres? C4 Gamer though, he can follow, if he stays within DRS range or Total P's, he can follow Total P's and try and catch the back of the train for second place.
Yeah, like I'd be surprised if P's doesn't seem to be really gaining on T-Griff. I'd be surprised if he doesn't pit this lap or next lap. Try and get the undercut, try and get out and just see if he can leapfrog ahead of one or two of them, because he's within that sort of range and the undercut is so powerful.
Last time I checked the gap was 2.3, now the gap is 2 seconds, so I think he's starting to gain in on those guys slowly. Now it's 1.8, so he's definitely starting to gain on those guys, but out in front, Walter's just nowhere to be seen. He's leading his own race, nice and cool, calm, consistent, and yeah, he's doing a fantastic job so far. And into the pit lane comes Jeroen Visser, so talk about pit stop strategies. Jeroen's the first man to pull the trigger. What about Total P's? Total P's is also in the pit lane then, so he must have listened to you or something like that.
Yeah, boys know how wise I am, so I'd say they have me on stream, listening out for any tips.
Yeah, Bompi's joined by the session. I didn't even know he was down in last place, but he's been having internet connections ever since the start of qualifying, so hopefully he can get that sorted out, because he's a really good driver, but sadly for him, his internet's letting him down. So now Giroux's pitted, he's rejoined. Esteban and Duval go side by side coming into turn 3, now coming into turn 4 we go. Esteban will have DRS on Duval then as we make our way down into turn 5. Will he make a move down there? Both on medium compound tyres. Down the inside goes Esteban on Duval, who could get a better extra quid out of there. They're still side by side now using the ERS as we make our way into turn 7. And Esteban just has the edge. No, Duval goes back down the inside, but Esteban has the outside line. And they're still side by side now, those two. Coming into turn 8 and turn 9. As we come into Portimao, Esteban is ahead. Where's Jeroen Visser? Jeroen Visser is down in P16. Where did he rejoin? He's behind AJ, so that could cost him dearly, because he's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Because Mark's in the pit lane, Mr. BT and Walters in the pit lane, so Jeroen Visser has to get past AJ this lap. He does not want to get stuck behind him. He needs to start making his move now, otherwise he'll get stuck behind him and therefore lose a lot of time. That'll allow Total P's to get closer. But here comes Jeroen Visser then. DRS open on the Mercedes. Will the Mercedes fight too hard? He is using his DRS, is AJ. And out of the pit lane comes Mark. And he's rejoined behind AJ, so that was crucial for Jeroen Visser to get past AJ there. Now he's got a car in between himself and Mark, and he can start catching the back of Walter, who's got AJ and Lewillard ahead of him on the medium compound tyres, so he's definitely going to get past him on track. DRS trade could be a problem here for Walter.
Yeah, like even.
Oh no, he's got a 3-second time penalty.
But even with all that, your run has closed in over a second on Vettel as well.
That could boost his confidence. It could boost his confidence knowing that Walter's got a 3-second time penalty, knowing he's stuck behind a train behind Nathan, Lewillard and Knowsley, who's on the hard compound tyres in P8. So Griff leads this race, by the way. Where's Total P's? Total P's is P16 behind Mr. BT. Mark is right behind AJ, then he needs to get past him immediately so he doesn't lose too much time between himself and Jeroen Visser. BT also needs to do the same thing with Total P's closing in the back of BT. The gap was like 2 seconds before they made the pit stop, so now it's 1.5 between Total P's and Mr. BT. And Rudy's out of the race. Hopefully, did he crash the main straight? I can't. No, he didn't, did he? No. No safety car will be enabled then.
Where did he crash?
probably retired in the pit lane and gave up. But Walter is right behind Nathan. He needs to get past him immediately. But the thing is, though, he has Lewillard right ahead of him, who will have DRS at the back of him.
All this is allowing your own to get closer. It's 1.7 now, the gap. He's halved it since the pit stop.
Nathan's not making it easy. He also uses his EOS, but down the inside goes Walter then. Should have better traction on those better tyres. And yeah, he does. He gets past Walter. Next one is Lewillard. Don't want to risk it in these corners because that could be this corner where you can spin easily. These two corners, turn 6 and turn 7. Or turn 7 and turn 8, sorry. Coming through turn 9 through Craig Jones' corner. Now into Portimoa we go. Lewillard goes a bit deep with that influence Walter to get closer to him and trying to overtake him. There's Giroux Visser behind Nathan. Getting past Nathan and took him nicely behind Lewillard. To Griff is in the pit lane then, so Soft Runner is in the pit lane. AJ's yet to pit on those soft compound tyres. And yeah, this should be easy for Walter to get past Lewillard. Same with Giroux on Nathan, hopefully for him. And there he goes then.
Yeah, the only difference is that Nathan also has DRS, so it mightn't be as easy for your own.
Nathan's got past Lewillard. The more these two fight, obviously Giroux Visser will be stuck down there between Lewillard and Nathan. Oh, down the inside he goes, then he tries it. Lewillard hits the back and he spins. Half spun the car, but he saves it. He outbroke himself, hits the back of Nathan, trying to defend from Giroux Visser. Looks like Giroux was going for an optimistic move, and he goes down the inside. Nathan covers it though. Oh, he goes a bit deep. Here comes Giroux to get a better exit on those better medium compound tyres, but Nathan's not giving up on those tyres. No, he's not, and Giroux Visser has made his way past, so we got past two cars within one lap. That was crucial for Giroux not to be stuck behind Lewillard and Nathan. That was very crucial indeed. But Mr. BT then, down in P10, Mark's got yet to pass his teammate, followed by Total Peas. Total Peas is right behind AJ, who's on those old soft compound tyres. Here comes Mr. BT on Lewillard. Lewillard's trying to defend as much as he can for his teammate, of course. It should be easy for Mr. BT to try and get past the AlphaTauri. Not making it easy whatsoever, but here he goes then. Through the final corner we go.
Total Peas and AJ going side by side.
Two battles going on once.
To leapfrog T-Griff as well during the pit stops.
Oh, he has indeed. He's down in P30, but here comes Total Peas. Could it take 2 for 1? Yes, he does. 3 for 1 actually. They go side by side and Mr. BT picks up a penalty. He overtook 3 cars on one straight, Total Peas. Think about it, AJ, Peas and Mr. BT. And Lewillard. And side by side goes Knowsley and... oh, they made contact! That's Walter! That's Walter! Our race leader, our net race leader made contact with Knowsley. They both went off the track for a slight moment, but got back on it. That's going to allow Giroux Visser to get closer. So our race leader making contact with midfielders. Now he's got Dual and Esteban to try and get past his teammate then. So that's Martin 1-2 as Bombia sets the fastest lap. He's in the session on those hard compound tyres too. So I want to say big props for Bombia for not giving up and going into pit lane, because I would have done being so far behind, but I bet he's optimistic for a safety car to happen. Walter is right behind Dual now, but Dual will have DRS on the back of Esteban.
Yeah, Dual also has 80% ERS, so it's not going to be easy to pass in this straight.
Well, yeah, he doesn't use the EOS, so it could have made his life more harder if he did use the EOS. And Giroux Visser has got past Knowsley for P5 now. Next target is Dual, and Walter's next target is Esteban for P3. The two Dutches fighting for P2. How hard will Esteban make it for Walter? And look at Esteban's EOS difference between Walter. Down the inside he goes. Now there's two. Oh, contact's been played. Contact. Yeah, broke himself there, did Dual. Look at Knowsley trying to get past Giroux Visser on those hard compound tyres. That's what
make contact.
They did indeed. Giroux Visser does not need that. He's got 2 cars now in between himself and Walter. And here comes Mark on Knowsley. Good move from Mark to go around the outside on Knowsley. And he's got Giroux Visser right in his sights. Where's Total Peas? Total Peas is still yet to get past Nathan, and so is Mr. BT. Mr. BT's lost out a lot in these pit stops.
Yeah, Mark's right back in contention now all of a sudden. He seemed to lose it early on at the start of when they came at the start of the stint, like after they pitted. But now he's right back and he's all over the back of your own. And they're both within Vouter's 3-second window, considering he has that 3-second pen already.
Look how close they are. Mark is right behind Jeroen, and Mark will get a double slipstream here, and there they are then. This is for position between Jeroen and Mark. Tries to go down the inside.
Well.
Crucially, Jeroen Visser just managed to stay ahead, but he is derated on a straight. Mark's got more EOS, so this is Jeroen Visser's a bit of trouble here, but luckily he's got a Aston Martin ahead of him, so he can protect himself from the DRS threat against Mark. Ferg's picked up a 3-second time penalty.
All this battling means that the gap to Vouter is now over 2.2 seconds. So Vouter's starting to build up enough of a lead that he might get that 3-second window.
He is indeed. Jeroen just needs to be nice and patient behind Sebastian. He don't want to make any rash moves. He just needs to overtake him on a straight, get past him, pull away. But all this battling has allowed Mark to get closer. Jeroen Visser has been involved in contact with a few of these drivers so far. So has Walter with Knowsley, but thankfully it didn't spin off the track. It was just tire contact really, but managed to get back on the track as soon as he could. But Jeroen Visser then right behind Esteban. Aston Martin 1-3 at the moment. The gaps have gone for me. The session's glitched again. Jeroen Visser then will have the DRS and slipstream on him. How hard will Esteban fight this? He's got more ERS compared to Jeroen, and here comes Jeroen Visser then.
I don't know why Jeroen's using all his ERS. Like, surely he has to save it while he's getting the DRS. Because now he's going to be a sitting duck when Mark gets past. Yeah,
Mark knows Jeroen's derating down the straight, so he has to get past Esteban as quickly as he can.
Oh, Vouter's run wide. Vouter's run wide.
He's ran wide? Oh, he's 1 second behind. Mark's gone down the inside and goes down the inside. Total Peace has gone down the inside of Knowsley. Nathan's defending from Mr. BT. We've got so many battles going on here between this and the midfield. This is what I like to see.
Yeah, Vouter making a rare mistake, and it means that Jeroen is now back in DRS range.
And that's going to be even harder for Walter to get that 2-second buffer to Jeroen Visser. Now he's in his slipstream. It's going to be very hard for Walter to pull away.
Yeah, he's been perfect all the race. He built that gap. He built more than 1 second before the DRS was activated. Now Jeroen's in that window. He can just chill there, save his ERS.
Exactly.
Maybe even close in a little bit.
As long as he stays in his DRS and saves up ERS crucially later for the race. And they've got like 12 laps to go or something like that. Got 40 laps to go in this race. I wonder when the medium runners will pit. But here comes Total Peas on Duel. Duel backs out of it. He knows he's going to get overtaken by Total Peas.
I was going to make this claim before the race, and it doesn't look as bold now. Total Peas to get a podium.
Total Peas. So he needs to get past Esteban, and then he's in a fight between. Down the inside, it's late braking for Total Peas, and has he made it stick? Yes, he has. Now we can focus about getting a podium now. There's Mark ahead of him, who's behind Jeroen, and Jeroen who's behind Walter, and Walter who's behind Danny Boy, who's left.
Are you seeing Danny Boy there? I'm seeing Steve at the top.
Danny Boy is right ahead of Walter. He's about to lap him.
Okay.
Yeah, Danny Boy's left the session and no idea what happened to him. Het Bompje is also having internet connection issues. He's got Seville Gamer will get DRS behind Het Bompje, so that'll give him some extra straight line speed down the straight. Het Bompje getting out of the way for him, and Seville Gamer then getting the extra toe down the straight. Right, who will win this race? Will it be Jeroen, Mark, Peas or Walter? Who's your bet on?
Total Peas.
You think?
Yeah, I think Peas is going to come. He's 2 seconds behind Mark at the minute. He's just outside of Vouter's 3-second window.
Oh, someone spun. That is Esteban. Esteban has spun coming out of turn 1. And look at that. Knowsley is right behind Double. And down the inside goes Mr. BT. Mr. BT still stuck in that train. He's got to Griff there. They're both fighting. They're on the same strategy is to Griff and Mr. BT. So they're stuck in the midfield fight where they don't need to be because they're the race leaders from before, the top runners. but they're still stuck in that train. They can't get past them, and with the lack of ERS from Mr. BT, it can make it more harder as well. So yeah, they're not having a good time. Is Mr. BT and Griff? Griff, 2-lap fresher tyres for Mr. BT. Mr. BT needs to get past them.
Yeah, he's losing so much time. Like Mr. BT was on the back of Mark at one stage before the pit, and then now here he is, and he's lost all ground on the rest of them.
Yes, indeed. Who was it that was first?
Your own has been very, very smart. We saw him derating a while ago, now he's up at 50%, so he's saved so much of it now.
In the pit lane comes C-Raw Gamer. He will switch over to the soft compound tyres and will get... Oh, I wonder where he will finish with those brand new set of softs. And here we are then, Knowsley on the back of Duval. Daddy Boy's in between them. Daddy Boy's got DRS as well. Where can Mr. BT make a move? He's got no ERS to his knee whatsoever. He's derated, he's gone. ERS is gone. Knowsley's gone wide through turn 1. Here comes... Oh, big contact's been made! Oh, Griff managed to avoid him. But they got all scary down there at turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. I'm glad Griff managed to avoid Mr. BT because he almost hit the back of him.
Mr. BT nearly loses it, and then Griff on the back of him now.
Trying to go around the outside. Would he get a switch back? Can he get a better exit from Mr. BT? No, he can't. Nathan's down there in P9 on those old medium compound tyres. Ferg's down there in P10. Total P is 1.8 seconds now behind Mark. And look at that, the top 3, 1 second separated the top 3, 8/10 now. This is going to be so close. I need to keep an eye on that battle as well as this, but there's so much going on here. This Portimoa is shaping up to be a really good and interesting race here. Let's see who can win this race. Will it be Walter? Will it be Chavula? Will it be Mark? Or could it be Total P's? Who knows? But if it's going to be Total P's, definitely drive the day from P18 to P1 without any safety cars, without any help.
Yeah, just been pure paced. Like as I said, he was amongst the favourites before, and then to get screwed over by his Welsh internet connection, and now he's 2.4 seconds off the lead, and Vettel has a 3-second penalty. Unbelievable.
Yep, Walter will most likely drop down into P5 at the end of the race. But Jarufas is doing a smart, like you said, Fowl. Jarufas are doing a smart thing there and saving his ERS. Not go for the attack straight away. He sit there, saving his ERS, waiting later in the race before he has enough and try and make a move on Walter. He doesn't have, theoretically, he doesn't have to make a move. He could just sit in P2 the whole race. But if he's a racer, he will go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know your own. He wants to win on track.
Yeah, he has to. Like, it's all about pride at the end of the day and showing who's better, because you don't want to win it just like that. You know what I mean? You just want to overtake the race leader. You want to know you won the race instead of being gifted towards you, because he could just sit there the whole race if he wants to.
Yeah, the other thing in your own favour is he hasn't had a single one all race.
I know, Jet add it.
Same for Peas. So the two of them have been very, very clean all throughout the race, and it just means that they're in great shape here now.
A 15.1. That 15.9 was the best qualifying we had. So definitely like
15.1 is a world record on TT. So
and it was on the hards for Head Bompia. Head Bompia on the hards too. You might want to keep out. You might want to keep an eye on C4 Gamer. He'll be very rapid now towards the end of the race. He's 1.8 seconds behind to Griff and Mr. BT, so keep an eye on C4 Gamer. Could get P4 in the race, you know, or potential podium, depends how good his pace is.
Yeah, he had very, very under the radar stint there in the mediums, and he just stayed going, and his pace was absolutely consistent throughout. He wasn't really losing too much time to Vettel until the very end, and then now, like, you can go and you can unleash that soft pace.
Exactly, because he had the benefit of not being stuck in traffic.
Pease nearly lost it on the uphill right.
He's lost a bit of time because it was under 2 seconds, now it's 2.1. I think the gap I see was 1.4, so he's lost a bit of time as total P's. But to Griff then, still hasn't got past Mr. BT despite the ERS difference between the two. But expect C4 Gamer, as the gaps are gone again, expect C4 Gamer to be appearing on the scene soon. If he doesn't get past these two, if he's stuck behind these two, then yeah, it's not worked out for him, but he needs to get past these two so he can start closing the gap between himself and Total P's. But here we go again to Griff then, right behind Mr. BT, who's using all of his ERS. But look at the front, Jerome Visser is right behind Walter, who's derating on the straight. And there's Mark in contention as well. This is going to be such a close fight. It's De Griff then goes for a move on Mr. BT. Mr. BT has no EOS whatsoever. And there he is. Then gets a better exit quick out of turn 1 to go down the inside for turn 2. He tries to go down back down the inside for turn 2. Turn 3 now. They go side by side.
What a move.
What a move, but keep an eye on the top 2. Jeroen Visser stays behind Walter for the time being. But what about De Griff? De Griff has got back ahead of Mr. BT, and C4 Gamer is right behind both of them. He has to make a move on both of them as quickly as he can, while he's got the best tyres so far in the race. Dewall knows these fighter knows he's on a brand new set of soft compound tyres along with Dewall and Nathan, so that's a tasty fight between those 3, with AJ down there in P14 not looking to make any moves because it's on the medium compound tyres. So yeah, we've got plenty of battles going on this track. This track is really, really good. I love this track, I do.
Yeah, it's great. So it is cool. They get a lot of flack for a lot of things, and deservedly so, but they did a great job on this track.
Right, Jeroen Visser has a lot more EOS in comparison to Walter. He's also got to keep an eye behind Mark as well, because any of these 3 could win the race. It's unlikely it could be Walter, but it's going to be either Jeroen or Mark, or Pease if he could close in and see what he could do in the last few races. But C4 Gamer is right behind Mr. BT, and he's made his move up into P6 now. Now the next one is De Griff. Then he's got to build a 6-second gap to try and
collide.
They did collide indeed, but there's yellow flags up ahead, and that is not the top runners.
It's Mark.
Oh, it is a top runner. Mark, what happened to him?
He seems to have lost it in the upper left.
He'll be more vulnerable towards Mr. C4 Gamer. C4 Gamer then has got to Griff to get past. Then he's got to close in a 5-second gap to try and close in a Mark ahead of him.
Mark was on for such a good race, finally stringing it together, and then he goes full Mark and bottles it.
He's still in this though. He's still behind Total P. It's not over yet. We've got like 8 laps to go in this race.
Total P is 1.5 seconds off the race win.
This disappointments of qualifying to potentially winning the race, that is just unbelievable what he's managed to achieve in this race. Like I expected him to score points or be in the top 5, but wasn't expecting him to be anything like this. I expected it to be much harder, but he made it look easy. Total P is just so easy, and his EOS management has been good in this race as well. And look at Jeroen Visser right behind Walter again. C4 Gamer is ahead of De Griff. Now we can close the Mark with the fresher soft compound tyres later towards the stage of the race. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job on that medium still. Let's see what he can gain towards the last few laps of this race. What we've got going on further behind, Nathan's behind Knowsley, and yellow flags. That's an Aston Martin or Esteban again, who's spun again.
So he goes purple in the first sector. He's really on a roll now, so he is, as he tries to reel in Mark.
Best possible result for C4 Gaming is probably P4 without a 3-second time penalty on Walter's name. But thing is though, what could go bad wrong for Walter? I couldn't even say that properly. What could go wrong for Walter is that a safety car could come out, then it will drop. But bear in mind, there's quite a few people that got penalties. Oh no! Yeah, quite a few people have got penalties. I'm about to say, I wasn't checking the penalties properly, but I was going to say that if the safety car did come out, Walter could lose a lot of positions with that 3-second time penalty. And Jeroen Visser is right behind Walter. Is this the lap that he makes the move? And it is the lap. There he is then. Jeroen Visser leads the Portimoa Grand Prix. But Walter then tucked him right behind Jeroen. It went downhill after the second stint because he looks in control in the first stint. Like all of a sudden, it just lost it in the second stint.
Yeah, but it was as we said. He got off to a great start. He built the gap on your own and Mark as the two of them were battling each other, and then that meant he got out of DRS range. And the DRS here is quite powerful. It's so hard to get away once someone is within your range, especially when they're similar pace to you, like your own is around here. And yeah, I think that's just the issue. I don't think it's that he lost pace. He made a few uncharacteristic errors, but other than that, it's been solid from Bauer. It's just your own's been excellent all race.
You said he hasn't got no warning, so he's been consistent, made no mistakes as Jeroen Visser. He made his way through the pack calmly as well. He didn't try and just go for it in the corners he couldn't do. He just bided his time behind those guys and overtook them when he had the chance to, but not over
but
yet.
Look who's catching up. Pease is in DRS range on Bauer.
This could get so interesting. If Pease does win this race, I'd be so happy with him, because P18 to P3 or P1 is just not an occasional thing you can really do, especially here. Yeah, and yeah, we'll have to
give him DRS, but he's right there.
Mr. BT and to Griff
Oh,
are
there's a
still
car spin off in front. The band spins off in front of the leaders.
Mr. BT has just got past T Griff, so they're still fighting for P6. The battle between those two is not over yet. Remember, they were fighting before the first pit stop, so the same strategy, but T Griff's got 2 laps of fresher tyres. Nathan is fighting Knowsley. He's just made his way past up into P11, and yeah, those two on the soft compound tyres then fighting it out towards the end of this race. And Total P's 1 second behind Walter. Now he's in DRS range. If he could get in DRS range, just stay there, that'll be very good for him. Just needs to close in a little bit more, but will Jeroen Visser get a DRS behind this back marker? I'm not sure if that's a 1 second gap in my eyes, but might do, might not do. Yeah, Total P's is in DRS range now of these two, so if Total P's can win this race, that'll be absolutely fantastic. If these two still fight a lot, and that'll allow Total P's to get closer, because look at Walter, he's not giving up, he's using his DRS. And there is then the change of leadership between the two again. And Walter takes back the lead of this race on lap 29. Mr. BT looks like he's starting to just slowly pull away from Griff there, but Griff is still in his DRS range. The slipstream just pulling him along, allowing him to stay there. Yeah, but look at Total P's now.
0.7 off the win.
He will definitely finish in P2 if he doesn't get any penalties, but if he wins this race, oh my god, that's one of the drivers I wasn't expect to be winning this race at all into qualifying.
Yeah, himself and your own have similar ERS, so they've similar tools to work with. Vouter is derating all the way around the lap now, so he's struggling. So I'd say he's going to be a sitting duck, and your own's going to come past for the lead here as they go past the straight. But it just depends, can the two of them go past?
Some yellow flags have been caused, but they've gone now. Yeah, look at that. You can see then, the gap between the top 3 is about 1.1 seconds. And there they are, Jeroen Visser so close behind Walter. Total P's will have DRS then. Jeroen Visser knows his main rival is Total P's, with that 3 second type penalty hovering over Walter's name. So he knows he can't afford to fight too much against Walter, otherwise Total P's will be right there. Mark could be involved as well, because Mark's in DRS range of Total P's as well, so could be a top 4 fight. With 3 laps to go, who is going to win the Portimoa Grand Prix? Will it be Jeroen? Will it be Total P's? Or will it be Mark?
What a battle. Like, you just can't take your eyes off this at the minute. Like, 4 drivers all being absolutely fantastic during this race, all within 2 seconds of each other. It's just been incredible.
4-way fight for first place is just crazy. Like we had in France this season and last season, that has been absolutely fantastic. Nathan then behind the real DC, he's caught up to him. The soft runners against the medium runners, so Nathan trying to get in the top 10. His next rival is DC. See how that battle unfolds soon.
Pease went in very deep onto this corner, but he's so close behind your own now.
I can't wait. We've got 2 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Who is going to win? Will it be Jeroen? Will it be Total P's? My drive of the day will be Total P's. Even if he doesn't win this Grand Prix, it'll be easily my drive of the day. And here comes Jeroen Visser then. We go into turn 1. Jeroen has got past the Mercedes. Total P's is right there. Heart might be pumping from going from P18 to P1. A lot of adrenaline going on in these last few laps. Remember, any of these drivers could still bottle this race with the pressure. And look at that. Will Total P's make a move on Walter? Yes, he does. He goes down the inside into turn 5. And guess what? Now, Jeroen Visser is ahead of him. He can stay in his DRS, save a bit of ERS and try and go for it. He's got such good pace around here, Total P's. I can't believe he could be winning this Grand Prix.
He's gone from P18 to P1, and Vouter, forget about Vouter's penalty or anything like that. He's just passed him on track. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, indeed. Like, we thought Walter was easily going to win this race before the pit stops, but something went wrong. Unless he had full wind damage we don't know about, like little like.
We know that he had contact with Knowlesy, so I hope he didn't get any damage there.
It could be a little bit of full wind damage we don't know about. It might not be obvious, but you can still get like a faded front wing, if that makes sense, on the end plate. A faded colour on the end plate, but we don't know about because it hasn't come off fully.
Yeah, if I know Total P's as well as I do, he's going to wait and he's going to do this on the last lap.
Can he wait though? Because look at Walter. Look at Walter. He's getting so close. Look at P's. Look at that. They're all 5/10s between each other. It's unbelievable. These last closing stages of this race.
Oh, Marco's for Unvouter.
Yep, indeed. Mark's trying to make up from lost ground from when he spun at this particular corner, and he's right behind Walter. Walter does look like he's struggling. And there goes Walter then. Goes down here. No, he doesn't. Mark doesn't. Well,
he does.
Yeah, he will. It looks like Walter broke late. But Walter's got a much better exit quit out of turn 5 and stays ahead of Mark. They both break late. Walter had the outside line and a much better traction quit out of there compared to Mark. This is going to be so close. Probably one of the top 5 races of this season. Obviously, because there's only 7 races in this. We've only got in 7 races.
Now, for me, this is a race of the season. This has been unbelievable. Total P's coming from basically last on the grid, and now here he is. We go on to the last straight. This is his moment now.
It's his moment. He has to do it this lap. There we go then.
Focus on the exit. He saved up a lot of his ERS. Now he needs to burn it all.
Burn it all, use it all, try and get a better exit quit out of turn 1. Make him go offline or something like that. Giroud has got no ERS.
Get it done in.
Oh, he's trying to go around the outside. They go side by side. Might get a warning for that one because he was awful. Oh no!
Oh, Jeroen hit him.
Oh, Jeroen Visser caused him to get a 3-second time on a T.
Spins.
Oh no! Oh, that's over. It's between Mark and Jeroen then, and Sevo Gamers up into P4. Total P's, his hard work has just been undone in that last lap.
Unbelievable.
I think he could have waited, and Mark's almost lost the car coming out of turn 6, and there comes Walter coming through turn 7, side by side now, coming into Portimoa turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, and yeah, Mark stays ahead of Walter, but it will be Jeroen Visser who will win this Portimao Grand Prix. Would you think that Jeroen was being a bit too aggressive there? Or was it Total P's that being a bit too aggressive there?
I think it's that corner. There's one line through that corner, and if you don't take it, it spins you. So it's just unlucky with the nature of the corner, but your own comes through to win.
Mark in P2, Walter in P3. C4 Gamer has run out of fuel. He will cross the line to finish in P4. Mr. BT will finish in P5. Total P's in P6. And Ferg has also run out of fuel. Probably underfueled the car, expected a safety car or something like that, but he coils across the line. To Griff's run out of fuel. And here comes Duwell, who hasn't run out of fuel in P9. P10 for Nathan. Knowsley P11. P9 for penalties. Nice run out of fuel. DC P13. Here comes AJ in P14. Imagine if the top 3 ran out of fuel across the line or something like that. Or one of the top 3. And here comes Passe at his debut, who will finish in P15. And we're waiting for Danny Boy. No, we're not. It's done now. So that's the Portimao Grand Prix over. And it'll be Jeroen Visser who wins with Mark in 2nd place and Walter in P3. Could Mark have won this Grand Prix if he didn't make that mistake? Possibly. But yeah, Jeroen Visser, 0 mistakes. And we'll finish in P1. Be interested to see what Walter will say. Did he have damage from any of the people he was fighting early on in the midfield? Because all of a sudden he just lost pace.
Yeah, I'm trying to add them now, but Jeroen is hiding from me. Oh, there he is.
I think.
What a race!
Looking in hindsight, obviously in the moment you want it, in the moment you go for it because it's you don't think about what happened afterwards in the last lap. But in hindsight, could he have waited, put Jeroen Vizor offline into turn 4, got him into turn 5, and done it then? Could he have waited?
Yeah, especially with the DRS straight coming as well.
Yeah.
Jeroen defended well. Maybe aggressively. Like, he did push him out on turn 1 as well. Giving Pease a warning that gave him a 3-second penalty. Which I think he would have gotten removed after the race anyway. But it's hard to know. Pease is always going to go for that move. Jeroen's always going to defend it. It's the last lap of an unbelievable race, so yeah.
The drivers will start to join now. We've got Jeroen in here. We're just waiting for the other two. Here comes Mark. We're just waiting for one more driver. And there he is. There's Walter. So top 3. We'll start with Walter first, as you finished in P3. Walter, mate, P3 for you. Not really. Let's just say, what happened to you in the race? Because all of a sudden, after that pit stop, you lost pace.
My first stint was good. I had 3 second lead or something. Then Jeroen undercut me, and it was 2 seconds. And I heard something snap in my R2, and I had the spring is gone. So but I can yeah, I don't know. The throttle was really difficult the whole last medium stint.
Oh, so controller just broke then for you?
Yeah, it's midway, just after my pit stop, coming out of the pit. I think the next straight away after the pit stop, something just snapped in it. I don't know what it is yet, but
well, you were leading the race. You must have pressed it too hard or something.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. So a bit unlucky and just a bit pissed off, but yeah.
Oh, your championship rival Total P's in P2 spun towards the end of the race, so you still got some points ahead of him. So that must be something.
Yeah, but nah, not really. I knew I could have won this if I didn't have the issue, but other than that, yeah, nah. I just wanted to win, to be honest.
Yeah, it's unlucky, mate. You had really good pace, but fortunately, that problem put you on a setback. But did you enjoy that race overall with the battles you had? Because that was so intense between the last few laps. All 4 of you fighting for the victory.
Yeah, even the last, I think the last lap could have been 4 wide if we all went for it, but I didn't really want to do that to fuck up other races.
Yeah, I'm lucky to you, mate. P3 still a good result though. You finished on the podium all races you've been in so far, so that's something, isn't it?
Yep, let's keep the streak going.
Yeah, mate. Congrats on P3 then. Mark, P2. Finally, a race that's gone your way, but you did make a mistake. I bet you were so frustrated, weren't you?
I was, because I was about 6 laps left. Wouter was D-rating already. I knew Jeroen had D-rated like a lap before, so he was like on low ERS, and I was about on 70%. I was ready to attack both of them, and then I just lost the brakes. I'm still happy Jeroen tried to leave me the space, even though I legit braked about 6 tenths behind, from 6 tenths behind. Had a small like half spin, but caught it, but then I made the pace back up while they were fighting, and P2, so I'll take it. Still not a win though, unfortunately, so I'm definitely gonna get a lot of memed about it. So.
I bet you were nervous about fighting those guys in midfield who haven't stopped, just try not to make contact with them.
Yeah.
It also benefited you because it got you closer to Jeroen Vizor, didn't it? Because I remember Jeroen was behind somebody and you got a double slipstream effect, so it got you right behind Jeroen Vizor. Do you think you could try to make an overtake?
I don't know. It was tough. There was a point where me, Duil, and Jeroen were 3 wide in turn 1. I was on the inside, but I backed out, and thank God for that, because better be safe than sorry, and turned out P2, so I'm still happy.
Do you think if you didn't make that slight mistake, you could have been obviously you could be in contention for a win, but do you think you could have won that race with Jeroen and Total P's closing in hard on you?
Yeah, I think I could have won it.
You had such
Yeah,
good
Mark,
pace there because
just on that note, like I mean, this is one of your specialist tracks. Do you think that there will be a stage that you don't bottle away a win?
Unfortunately not, but there are a lot of good tracks coming up in the calendar, so I'm definitely excited.
What was it like those last few laps? Oh, sorry, Mark. You continue.
Oh no, nothing. I was just gonna say I'll actually practice for once, but yeah.
What was it like those last few laps? Were adrenaline high?
Oh, bro, my heart was beating out of my chest. Like I could feel my heartbeat going 120 beats a minute. It was yeah. It was intense. It was intense. I mean, 4 people fighting for the win. Well, not really 4. Last lap it was just me and Yaron since they had the penalties. Then P's unfortunate spin. I almost spun in the uphill right-hander on the final lap. Me and Wouter went side by side again, so that easily gave Yaron the win unless he had a penalty. But yeah, it was a really good race. I had a lot of fun.
Congrats on P2 there, mate, because I know you struggled in the last few races, haven't you? So this must be a stepping stone for you. Yeah,
100%. I mean, missed the last 2 races, and the 2 races before that I got DNF. So besides the P3 in Silverstone, this is definitely one. This is, I mean, ties with my best result in CRL, obviously. So I'll take it.
You think there's a potential win for you this season? Can you get it?
100%, 100%. I'm still getting the win this season.
I hope you do.
They can't stop me.
There's high expectations for you ever since Britain when you got that pole position.
Yeah, but yeah, ever since some things happened, but it's fine. I'm coming back.
Hopefully you do, because this is the mark we want to see. Because you've got good pace, we know you've got good pace, but you just, like what Farrell said, you just bottle a lot. Yeah. I tried to say it professionally, but I had to say the word.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, no, it'll be nice whenever you do back up all your talk.
I'll back it up.
On to you, Giroud, then. Fantastic job. You managed to get no penalties in that race, kept it clean behind those midfield runners who didn't pit, and yeah, closed in on Walter and won the race. How do you feel, mate?
Yeah, of course, I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah, pace was good. Not the best on track, but pace was definitely good. 0 warnings in the entire race, so yeah, in the practice I got a lot of penalties and warnings, but yeah, 0 warnings, so that's good. And yeah, just very up in general, closed a bit of the gap to Wouter, but yeah.
Well, that last lap, tell me how intense was it? How much did you think you were going to lose that race? With P's closing in on you like that?
Oh, mate, I was like, at the beginning of the straight, I thought, wait, is he really going for it or not? Then I stopped my ERS, and then he came close so quickly. So I put on my battery, used everything, and we were like half side by side. And then I don't know exactly what happened, but I think he lost it on the inside curb, right? You guys had a better view because
he lost it on the inside curb.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Oh yeah. Turn. I was thinking about the penalty. Yeah, he did lose it on the inside curb there. Yeah, I think he was just frustrated that he got the penalty. He just lost all
you got a
focus
pen?
really. Yeah, he got a penalty. Because
you
pushed off the top
into
twice.
turn 1. He was
joking.
on the outside, and then he was he didn't have any space left on the track, and he got a penalty then.
Like Powell said, the nature of that corner, like it's just enough space for one of them. But yeah, side by side, you're barging each other, and that's what caused total P's to get the penalty.
It was really hard racing elbows out because it was for the win.
Also, will you stay behind Walter those few laps, like to save your ERS, because you knew you could save it towards the end and try and overtake Walter, stay ahead of P's and yeah, what's his name? Mark. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, like behind Walter. Before that I was derating, and then of course he had this issue with the pad. Really unfortunate, but...
Did you know about it? Were you in the same party?
Yeah, we were in the party, we were discussing it. I was asking like, what is wrong, because I saw him going off here and there. And yeah, I was behind him chilling, saving ERS, because I was derating before. Then, yeah, Mark was really annoying behind, pushing with his ERS, so it was not really easy to save ERS, but yeah, and then when Mark did that yeah, when he lost his brakes on my inside, it was really weird for me. But then I thought, oh, this is easy. Just stay within about 3 seconds in the DRS. And then suddenly I looked on my screen and saw total P's on the left. I was like, what the fuck, where did he come from? And he was closing in, so it was really stressful. I didn't really know what to do. If I should overtake Wout or not, but yeah, in the end, yeah, he just had way more pace. So happy to have won still.
Congratulations, Jeroen. Did that first stint when Wout was pulled away, was all your focus going towards Mark then and Pease behind you?
No, I think on the softs I was quicker than Mark. I pulled two times. I pulled a 1 second gap, but then I made a mistake. I think me and Wout's pace was equal, something like that. If I had a clean lap, I would maybe catch him by 10th or lose a 10th. But yeah, I made some mistakes on the first stint, so it was not the best. And then I undercut it.
Thank you very much, Jeroen. Congratulations on P1, mate. Really crucial for you in the
thanks.
championship. Are you focused on the championship right now? Do you think there's, I know you're like 99 points away, but do you think there's still a chance for you in the championship to try and take it away from Walter? You still believe in?
No, you never know what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, true.
Walter has to crash sometime.
We'll never know, but
he made a rare mistake today. He went off with the uphill left. It was the first mistake I've seen him make all season.
Yeah, he's cracking under pressure, I think.
He also crashed into Nolsey.
oh yeah, well, I have to talk about that contact with Nosley. What happened there? You two just went off the track when I went on ball with you.
I can't remember it fully, but I think we were going into the hairpin at the inside line, and I turned in, and I think he dragged my rear. I don't know. I need to rewatch it, but I don't know. I felt like I cleared him, and then I think he hit my right rear, and we dragged to the right together.
Okay, mate. A question for four of you, including you, Fowl. Who do you think is going to win the Turkish Grand Prix this weekend?
Yeah, definitely Max, of course.
Is Jeroen going to say anything other than that?
Mark, what about you?
Yeah, probably Max.
Mazepin's winning.
Walter, what about you, mate?
Oh, that's Seb.
What would you say?
Vettel. Easy.
Who?
Vettel.
Oh, yeah. You said. I thought you said Vettel. Had to make sure. Anyways, thank you all so much. We'll see you next week at 8:30 for the next race.